Hi, Tom here. Welcome to today's video. Taurus. This week doesn't rush you. And that's a good thing. Because whatever is opening here doesn't feel temporary. It feels like something you can actually stand on. You might notice that right away. Not excitement, exactly. More like a quiet sense that something is finally working the way it's supposed to. And for you, that matters more than anything. Because you don't just want movement. You want something that lasts. Something that doesn't fall apart the moment you lean onto it. You tried building something, and it shifted. You tried to rely on something, and it changed. So you pulled back a bit. You got more careful. More selective. This week feels like something meeting that energy properly. Not rushing you. And definitely not forcing you. Just showing up in a way that feels consistent. And guess what? That's the opening. What to look out for this week. So pay attention to what feels steady. Not flashy. Definitely not overwhelming. Just reliable. It could be a person who follows through. A situation that holds its shape instead of constantly changing. Or something in your life starting to feel more settled than it has been. That's where this door is. Also, notice what you don't feel stressed about anymore. Something that used to sit in the back of your mind might not carry the same weight this week. That's a sign that things are shifting into a better position. And guess what? You don't have to chase it. All you have to do is recognize it. What to stay away from this week. Don't ignore something good just because it feels too simple. Sometimes Taurus expects things to be complicated because they have been. But this doesn't feel complicated. It kind of feels just right. Also, stay away from holding on to something that clearly isn't stable. You'll feel the difference very clearly this week. Some things will feel solid, and some won't. And if something feels inconsistent, unreliable, or draining, you don't need to convince yourself it's going to change. You've been shown what actually holds. Trust that. What may be opening for you? This feels like something you can build on. For some of you, this is financial or work related. Something becomes more dependable. A better situation. A more stable flow. For others, this could be personal. A relationship feels more grounded. Someone showing up in a way they haven't before. Or you feel more secure in yourself, which changes how you approach everything. And that's important. Because when Taurus feels secure, you don't second guess every step. You just move with confidence. You commit. You build. There's also something here about pace. You don't need to rush this. This isn't going anywhere. That's the part of what makes it quite different. You can take your time with it. You can feel it out. You can develop without worrying that it's going to disappear. And that alone changes how you experience it. Because when something feels stable, you don't have to grip it tightly. You just let it grow. This week isn't trying to push you forward quickly. It gives you something you can actually trust. Something that actually holds. Something that doesn't shift every time you look at it. And that's the door. It opens, and it stays open. And you can step into it at your own pace. And you need to trust that. Before you go, there's something important you should know. These horoscopes are based on Vedic astrology, also known as sidereal astrology. That means we're using the actual positions of the stars in the sky, not the tropical system used in most Western astrology. Because of that, your sun signs here may be different than what you're used to. And that's okay. In Vedic astrology, we don't start with the sun sign. We start with the moon sign, because the moon represents your mind, emotions, and how life is experienced day to day. First, always watch this for your Vedic moon sign. That's where this horoscope will feel the most accurate and personal. Next, I recommend watching for your rising sign, also called your ascendant or lagna. Your rising sign shows how these energies show up in your physical life, your body, your environment, and the situations unfolding around you. Then, you can also watch for your sun sign, which adds insight into your identity, confidence, and sense of purpose during this time. And if love, relationships, creativity, or money are major themes for you right now, I also recommend checking your Venus sign, called Shukra in Vedic astrology, for an extra layer of clarity. For weeks where things feel intense, faded, or life-shifting, it can also be helpful to look at your lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu. These show where growth is pulling you forward, and where old patterns are asking to be released. To find your correct placements, make sure you're using a Vedic or sidereal natal chart, not a tropical one. Once you know your moon, rising, sun, and Venus signs, and optionally Rahu and Ketu, you'll get a much deeper and more complete understanding of what's unfolding. If this message resonated with you, please like the video. It truly helps support this channel and allows these messages to reach the people who actually need them. And if you're enjoying these weekly Vedic horoscopes, consider subscribing so you don't miss future messages for your signs. You are not one sign. You are a system of energies, learning how to work together. Take care and be calm.